So it's recently occurred to me that the Metal Marauder's been in the game for a couple of weeks now, and I haven't made a video on this, which is shocking because in my recent Best Rockets video, link below, I placed it above the Santa's Little Helper, on par with the Deatomizer, and right up there with the Storm King's Wrath, which of course is its own category, but that video gets into that further. My point is, this is an extremely powerful weapon for me to not have covered yet, so let's get right into the best perks for the Metal Marauder. I'm going to show a little bit of gameplay on screen right now to demonstrate that this is an extremely powerful weapon. I mean, if you haven't tried it out, you should absolutely give it a go. I know a lot of people are a bit biased towards the black metal weapons, because, I don't know, I guess your weapon's hurting you isn't everybody's favorite thing, but that damage is huge, and if, as long as you're careful while you're shooting it, you know, you hold on to going coconuts, make sure that you're healthy while you're shooting this thing, you should be a-okay. However, even as I've been using it in my own sessions, it does tend to get away from you and do a lot more damage than you planned, so it's important to stay careful because this weapon will definitely be worth it so long as you can, you know, stay alive in the battlefield. And the Metal Marauder best perks are very simple in my opinion. So because it has with a reload perk on it, a 1.7 reload speed, that means you're basically shooting once every 1.7 seconds, which is fairly slow for this kind of weapon, and I would never recommend a crit build on something that shoots that slow. That being said, rockets tend to affect many enemies all at once, and each one of them do crit separately. So if you're constantly using this for encampments and you're constantly shooting crowds of enemies specifically, then a crit build might be a good way to go, but I just cannot recommend anything other than damage for this kind of thing because I just think the consistency is more worth it overall. And of course, on the 5th perk, you're going to want to have that 80% bonus damage based on the percentage of your missing health, because that's kind of the entire feature of this weapon. You know, you're meant to be losing health while you're using this, you're meant to be low HP, and you're meant to be doing 80% extra damage because of it. Obviously, reload is sort of a preference. I think reload's best because you'll be getting more shots off more regularly. Obviously, damage is a really good way to go if you want to just maximize your damage, or crit damage would technically be the maximum potential damage, but the least overall, you know, consistent damage, I should say. I think on average, crit builds tend to do more than damage, but barely when you're shooting as slow as you are with a rocket launcher, and I think the best option other than reload here would be damage. And obviously, there is an impact perk here, and that's something that's insanely important to talk about, and that's because the impact on the Metal Marauder is huge. You can have not one, not two, but three impact perks on the Metal Marauder, and that is a really, really big deal. You will be staggering almost every single shot you hit on every enemy you attack if you go with the impact perks. However, I think 38,600 is pretty good just by default, and I've never ever recommended or seen any benefit from replacing damage perks with impact. However, it is an option for a weapon like this when it is the king of impact in the game of Save the World. And then your only other element choice is fire. And that looks badass, you know, it's cool because of the black metal set, but I think physical's probably the best overall right there, and that's pretty much it. The Metal Marauder is one of those basic cookie cutter rockets that is extremely powerful, and it is unique in the sense that it takes health and turns it into damage, but it is ultimately just the typical perks I'd recommend for any rocket launcher. So if you guys haven't tried out the Metal Marauder, I highly suggest giving it a go. It is one of the best rockets in the entire game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for Benz getting all this gameplay. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.